Well, I'm on the phone with head football coach Mark Shields from the MDI Trojans. And, Coach, game day today is, I was telling my mother this morning, I mean, this is the game of the week. It is North versus South, 1 versus 1. This is a big, big game tonight. And it's homecoming.
Yep, no doubt about it, Chris. Looking at our schedule at the beginning of the year, I mean, we knew that it was going to be a difficult schedule for sure, and we have been fortunate enough to get some wins, and but we knew coming into this week that the Leavitt Hornets was they were going to be a tough opponent, and sure enough, here we are, week 7, and they're 6-0, the only undefeated team, excuse me, in Class C. Yeah, it's a big week, and we've been talking to the kids a lot, and just like we do with every opponent, we're looking to get better, and each team is looking to improve each week, to get ready for the playoffs, and that doesn't change with this game for sure. I mean, we want to get better as a football team. Of course, we want to win the game. Leavitt wants to win the game, but ultimately you are gearing up for the playoffs. But this game in particular has a lot of ramifications because we're number 1 right now. There's a good chance if we don't win this game that we might not stay number 1.
Right.
So so that's a pretty big deal. But all that stuff seems to take care of itself, and you never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. So for us, it's focusing on this particular game, focusing on what we need to do for preparation, and taking it a play at a time tonight, and hopefully coming out and performing well.
I know that at the beginning of the season, I was told that Leavitt was not particularly pleased with the fact that they needed to travel to MDI. It's a 3-hour. I just Googled it. It's 3 hours in a car. It's probably 3.5 by bus.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a trek. We had to go down there. We talked about this on Monday. We had to go down there in 2003, my first year as head coach. We actually went down there on a Saturday night, not even a Friday night. If I remember correctly, our bus broke down. We got lost. It wasn't a great trip for us, and then we ended up not playing well that night and getting beat pretty badly, if I remember correctly. But it is a long haul. But I'm sure Coach Hathaway will prep his kids well. They'll prepare well. They'll travel well, and I'm sure they'll be ready to go by the time they get down here.
Leavitt is a high-powered offense. We talked about this Monday. They love to throw the ball. They love to run the ball. How are you going to counter the Leavitt offense?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big night for us defensively for sure, to try to stop what they want to do. And you're right, their quarterback, he's the real deal. He'll sit back there and shotgun, and he'll throw the ball, he'll run the ball, he'll hand it off. It's a lot of stuff that he can do, and he has some good athletes around him to get the ball too. So, it's not one of those things you can just key on one guy, and that's a sign of a good football team, and that's what they are. So, you really do have to play sound defense to try to stop these guys. Because if you focus on one guy, we all know that that's probably not going to end well for us.
Right.
Because there's other guys that are going to hurt you. So, really, you have to play good team defense. You have to limit your penalties. I think we have to tackle well tonight because they're strong. The quarterback's really strong. When he keeps it, he's hard to bring down. He's a good north and south runner. So we're going to have to tackle well, and we're going to have to try to get off the field. If they have long, sustained drives, that's not going to be good news for us because they're going to wear us down. And on the flip side of that, they also can hit you pretty quickly. I mean, they like to throw the ball deep, and their quarterback can do that, and their receivers can catch it. So, they're a handful for sure. Mark Arnold, my defensive coordinator, he's worked really hard this week in preparing our defense, and I think we have a good game plan going in, and hopefully we can execute it tonight.
Do you want the ball, or do you want to kick off if you have the choice?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot this week, and typically if we feel like it's going to be a real close game, sometimes we will defer to the second half try to get our defense on the field and see if we can get an early stop. Sometimes it's harder to get, the offense rolling than the defense. So we're hoping, we'll see. I mean, we're hoping whichever team gets out there, they can perform well. Yeah, I'm still trying to make that determination, and I usually talk to my captains about it, kind of get a feel for what they think, and then we'll make that decision.
It's the first time in, I think, all season long, I looked in the paper today to see what the so-called experts were picking. MDI is, I think it was the majority, by the vast majority, were picking MDI over Leavitt. You think this is going to be a close game tonight?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think it's two really good football teams going at it. I'm sure there's a lot of different opinions out there as far as who, people think who's going to win. But I did see those scores, and I did also see that the scores were close. So that shows you that people are, they're not exactly sure what to pick. And I guess we did get a few picks, but. Once again, in big games, I told the kids this last night, and we see this time and time again, that a lot of times in these close ball games, it comes down to turnovers and special teams. If you have two really good offenses and two really good defenses going at it, sometimes that's a wash, but who's going to, perform, on the special teams end of it, and turnovers are always huge. We saw that versus Winslow, two really good teams going at it. They won the turnover battle, and they won the football game. And I thought, overall they probably outperformed us on special teams, although we did have a kickoff return that day. But, we're gonna have to execute, at all aspects of the game tonight to have a chance to beat these guys.
It's nice to be at home. You're avoiding a 3+ hour bus trip, but it's been a long time. 2 weeks in high school football without being at home, that's a long time.
Yeah, definitely. The kids are super excited to be back home. It's their homecoming, so they're excited about that, of course. It sounds like we're going to have a nice crowd tonight. The weather looks like good football weather, in the 50s. And, the guys are ready to go, and, it will feel good to run on that field and hear the band playing and being our band and not someone else's.
Right.
So, we're excited about that.
And speaking of the band, I was told that the pep band's got 100 members of it, and they've hit 100 for the first time, which for the size of MDI, that's outstanding. And boy, I'll tell you, they are loud and proud when they play. Yeah, they really are. And of course, I'm biased, but I think we do have the best band in the state. Michael Remy does a great job with them. And, our band, many times, will hang around, to the end of the game. Some bands will pack it up at halftime, and I get that. It gets cold out there. They want to hang out with their friends, but a lot of times our band will stick around. And, there's something about it. A lot of times I don't even notice other teams' bands, but I always notice our band. When we come on the field, it's loud, and it feels good to hear that, and it gets people excited about the team for sure. And Missy Leland, the varsity cheerleading coach, she's reached out to former cheerleaders asking them to come and perform, and I guess they're going to perform Alma Mater and one or two other routines, so you're going to have a huge cheerleading contingent, and I think she's even encouraging some of them to wear old shirts and the like. Oh, man, yeah, I guess I didn't know that, but that's pretty cool. It sounds like there's going to be some extra people as well. I know they're announcing the Acadian Youth Sports. They're announcing the football team. My son Jacob, he's on the 5th and 6th grade team, and they're announcing all those guys at halftime. So there's going to be some extra people on the field and cheering us on. So that's good news for us as well. How important is it to have the stands full, have the crowd rooting on, being that 12th player? Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. I really do feel like we have an advantage playing at home. We've been pretty tough at home the last few years, and I know a big part of that's due to the fact that we have a great crowd and, the band and everybody that comes out and supports the team. The guys really do feel that, and
I would compare a lot to going to Winslow is always a tough place to play. It's just pulling field. You go down there and not many people win. They haven't lost a game down there in a couple of years,
right.
And I kind of get the feel, we're similar to that. We're a place that a lot of teams don't want to come to play because, we are sort of separated from the conference. We're separated from the state a little bit. And I think some people think that it's even longer ride than it really is to get down here, but it's almost like a foreign land for some teams to get down here. And I always felt like that's an advantage to us, and hopefully it will be tonight.
Health of the team, pretty good going in. I mean, you've got Croy back, Gilbert's back. We laugh about Gilbert. I mean, Gilbert during the pep rally did a toe touch and thundered down to the ground. I mean, but everybody's in good physical shape. Yeah,
we're a pretty healthy football team overall. We got a couple guys. Some of our younger guys are kind of dinged up right now, but overall, the varsity is healthy and feeling good and ready to go. We've had a really good week of practice. The guys have taken it seriously, and we feel as though we've prepared as well as we possibly could for this game. And I told the kids, of course, you want to be successful, but enjoy the experience as well. I mean, it really is a special time for them, especially those seniors. Their last homecoming game, and really enjoy it and have fun out there. That's really why we do this. Some people kind of forget the part that, this is supposed to be fun, and it is supposed to be fun. So hopefully, the guys really enjoy tonight.
Okay. What do you want to tell the fans listening?
Yeah, once again, thank you for your continued support. It's been awesome. We're hoping that a lot of people will be out tonight for our homecoming game versus Leavitt. If not, hopefully you're supporting us, on WDEA, listening to the game. And, if you can't come out to tonight's game, hopefully you can make it to our last home game, which will be versus Nokomis the following Friday night, and that will be senior night. So that's kind of a special night as well. So go Trojans.
All right, Coach. Best of luck tonight.
Thanks, Chris.